Okay. Hello, we are here today to spend this morning with an interesting talk. Our guest is Boris Masnec, lead software architect at Repsly. Hello.
Hello.
All of our JSP Coffee usually starts at 9 a.m., so it would be a pleasant start for the working day. And when and how does your morning start? Are there some special rituals?
Well, no, it's same as you do. We start at 9 a.m. I'm checking my system health, going through emails, checking out calendar and today's agenda to see what is on my plate for today, and that's it. That is my morning.
What about the morning before your working day? How do you start, like having some coffee or maybe some sports? What do you do before you start your
Oh,
working day?
I'm okay. I'm starting at 6:30. Have my training every day. After that, I'm checking out is there anything new in the world while I'm drinking my coffee. And after that, 9 a.m. will come and I will start with my work.
Awesome. What about your habits? Do you have something special that helps you in your day-to-day job?
Well, there is one habit beside coffee. And that habit I got from the noisy startup days. I'm wearing my earphones constantly, even when I'm not listening music. In early days, in the startup days, that was a signal that I'm in a deep focus and just to not interrupt me if it's possible. Now it comes like a habit, and I need to wear them all the time to signal my brain that I'm in working mode. You need to be in a deep focus work. You know?
Oh, that's nice. That's actually a good tip, I think, to try.
Yeah, and it works.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, you are working in a product company. So tell us more about the differences between product and outsource companies.
Okay, when we are talking about differences, there are two major differences that actually drive decisions and the company culture. The first is the source of requirements. Outsourcing companies or agencies are hired by customers to solve a specific problem, which is defined by customers. The solution is tailored for that customer needs, and it needs to be approved by customer. The projects usually have a well-defined scope and a well-defined start and end of the project. That is for the source of requirements. While product company is actually trying to solve the problem for the specific market, the requirements are a result of market research and research of operational habits of our potential customers. The solution is tailored to fit for many, not just for one, and approval actually comes from a product adoption. Project is never ending and constantly growing and expanding. So that is for the source of requirements. And the second one is source of revenue. Outsourcing companies or agencies will define cost of solution, time frame, and the cost. And that needs to be signed off by a customer. And the customer afterwards will be charged by terms defined in the contract. Any scope change or any time frame breach will be, charged separately or penalized in which direction it goes. While product company is investing upfront into a solution, blindly and placing solution to market, hoping that it will be adopted and used by potential customers. So it's investment upfront. There is no real guarantee that there will be any return on investment. If solution is not suitable for their needs or is complex or hard to use or is too late on the market, it will be rejected by market and company will not get money. That is the major difference. The price is defined by calculated operative cost and what is market willing to pay for the product. So there is a lot more variables here, but it all comes to that major differences. So source of requirements and source of revenue Those two key factors are making a complete difference. How decisions are made regarding how development is done, time and resource investment. The agencies are constrained by contract, so their focus is on scope fulfillment, speed of execution, and usually they are sacrificing maintainability and scalability of solution. For instance, you will hear a lot of get it done fast, maintenance and scale will be charged separately, right? While the product company will rather cut scope and extend time than sacrifice maintainability and scalability. Why? Because any maintenance or scale effort afterwards, and it will come, I guarantee you, goes directly from a company's budget. Nobody else will pay for it, only company. So I guess those are two major differences.
Why did you choose to work in a product company?
Challenges. I joined to the product company in early startup days. You know, there was only few of us, like 5. It was very challenging, very stretching. You know, you need to invest a lot. You need to learn fast, grow fast, you know, extend your habits, just stretch. And it was very challenging, and the feeling is great. I'm that kind of person, you know. I love it, and I stayed. Now we are a professional big company, not so big, mid-sized company, and we are growing in a very fast pace.
Okay, awesome. How's your typical day look like?
Well, working day start
Mhm.
is in 9 a.m. With morning routine as mentioned. I work till noon, then I have a lunch break. Afterwards, after lunch break, we have a short daily stand-up just to align teams and resolve any dependencies or blockers. Afterwards, work till 5, and I guess that's it.
Okay.
Every day
You
is different, you know, meetings and things are like that. Sometimes it's tasks, sometimes are meetings, but this is the summary of it.
okay? So far, what were your biggest challenges work-wise?
Just to explain, like I mentioned before, you know, the product company actually have two major stages, you know, the startup period and later professional period with well-defined processes, roles, and responsibilities. In startup period, company is trying to survive, just that, you know, we are just trying to survive and win the market. In that period, it's acting much like agencies regarding decisions. You know, you're sacrificing whatever you can just to get that solution out as fast as possible and win as many customers that you can. Well, the challenge that I had was as we were growing, we needed to scale out. Not just on a technical level, but also on a process level, on a team organization level, on an organizational level. So we needed to professionalize company. So all sacrifices from the startup period came due at once, you know, in a very short time frame. You needed to, in very short time frame, you needed to scale out our services, scale out our product, scale out our teams, define processes, invest into a quality to stabilize the product so that many people can work on that. You know, that was extremely challenging. That actually required the radical shift in mindset and operational habits. So I guess you believe it's very stretchy.
Let's talk a bit about programming. What do you think about the quality of code, and is it important, and why?
Well, the quality of code have great importance in a product company. It defines how fast we can respond to market changes, how much we must invest in maintenance, and what is the cost of scaling product features. Any extra effort on scaling and maintenance is directly taking resources from ability to expand to market. That is very important. You know, if you slow down, your concurrence will actually take it over. So you need to be fast, and you need to maintain the stability of product. It must be very stable. Inability to respond fast to market change can actually kill the company. Also, one thing to emphasize, the product is growing very fast, over a large period of time. And very well tested feature stack gives actually liberty to developers to not know everything about the services or things that need to change. There's a safety net around them, and they can just focus on what they need to do next. So this is why quality of code is very much important.
Okay. The first job is quite significant for any young person. Usually it establishes the whole career path. What was your first job and what did you learn there?
Well, I didn't start in IT. My first job was not IT related at all, but I worked for the government. And later on, I pushed myself into IT inside the government. And so I will talk about that. My first IT job was employment in that company, in that government branch. And my first large project was actually a large solution for one big department inside the Ministry of Justice. The project was 3 years long. I was responsible for requirement communication, solution definition, and execution, one-man army. And that project taught me a lot about requirement gathering, how to define next steps, how to communicate that with my customers, my stakeholders, how to define very well architecture, and how to develop. So I guess that was my first job. I learned a lot with that project.
That's great. How does the ideal candidate for Rhapsody look like? Which skills are crucial to have?
Well, as I mentioned before, so the scale and maintainability and the fast pace, but smart fast pace is very crucial to us. So I guess it would be strong skills in unit and integration testing, test-driven development preferred, deep understanding of solid principles and best coding practices, understanding of 12-factor up methodology, because we are mostly operating by that methodology. And it would be very good to have experience with microservices and event-based architecture and distributed SQL and NoSQL databases. So that is actually a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, today it is also important to learn something new, at least be aware of some trends. So what do you do? Where do you find that information for self-development? And how do you make time for that?
Well, I attend conferences, meetups, webinars, to learn what is new, make some readings on internet, finding stuff, taking educations on Udemy. The time for doing that, well, there is a distinction, it comes together, but there is a distinction of desired personal development and what is required for company to scale. So if it's required for company to scale, we need to investigate new area, new technologies. We are trying to keep everything cutting edge so that we can keep up with the market. If we need to invest there, then I'm taking some time from my, working hours in agreement with my VP of engineering. And if it's for self-development and personal growth outside of company needs, well, it's in my free time. I'm just taking my time, making some projects or just making some POCs just to, learn something.
To do your job more than just okay, you need to be motivated. Where is your source of motivation?
Oh, that is a hard question. let me tell it like this. Our product is used by 1,000 companies all over the world. We are making life easier for more than 20,000 of their employees all over the world. Our system is used 24/7 without minute of break. And there's a great deal of effort and professionalism invested to make that possible. You know, that makes my wings big. And we are expanding our teams. We are constantly improving our product, looking for technologies that will enable us to be more productive, to be faster, and to provide better service. So basically, the work itself is motivational enough. Every day we are getting better. We are growing further individually as a team. We are stretching constantly. There is a good company culture and people and healthy environment. You know, everybody is ready to help. All of that help made me stay motivated and willing to push further. You know, constantly push. That there is nothing more satisfying than when we see that we expanded on the market. We are able to deliver more than last year, and to be honest, to look some team members, you know, grow in a year period in a way that they even can't believe that they grown that much. So that is very satisfying. That pushed me forward.
Okay, last but definitely not least question, what are your top books every developer should read?
Okay, I'm developer. I'm coder, and I'm an architect. But the most top-rated books, only one of them is about coding. So the first choice is Start With Why. I learned very hard that that book is very important for any developer that want to grow in a product environment or to push forward on the market. Extreme Ownership, Start With Why is by Simon Sinek. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Liv Bobbin. Those two are Navy SEALs that actually have managed to transform the learnings from a military into a business. And the book is so readable. I really recommend that book to every developer that want to push forward. It will give him the ground to understand why people don't understand him. And the Clean Code, that is the coder book. The Clean Code by Robert C. Martin. The book is about the best coding practices and how to make the high quality code which have high maintainability, high readability index, and such stuff. So those three: Start With Why, Extreme Ownership, and Clean Code.
Awesome. Thank you for this lovely morning, and have a great day. And we will be waiting for you in Lviv whenever you will have an ability to have an actual coffee with us. We will be glad to.
Great.
To do it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, and thank you for opportunity to present Repsley and myself in this way.
Thank you.